I am Pastor Chris, and this is my faith. Hi, I'm Pastor Chris, and this show is all about my faith. Welcome. Today I had the opportunity for a very unique experience. I went to get a hug from Amma. Now you may or may not know that Amma is the hugging saint, that she has hugged over 30 million people, which I find astounding. A friend of mine posted something on Facebook saying that she was going to be in my area. And I was intrigued. I began to do some online reading and research, and some people criticized her and the operation for being just another commercial endeavor. So I wasn't sure I wanted to go. But this wasn't the first time I've heard of Amma, the hugging saint. And so I decided I was curious. I wanted to go. So I woke up very early this morning for me. I know for some of you morning folks it wasn't that early, but for me it was way early. I was out the door by 6 a.m. and got in line very early and waited and waited and waited. Finally got my little token saying when I would be able to join the queue to be embraced by Amma. Now there was a lot of things to buy. Prayer shawls and clothing and other religious trinkets. But they weren't very expensive. I mean, they cost a fair amount, but not overly so. There was food to be bought, but it wasn't overpriced. It was reasonable. The whole thing was very well organized. Hundreds and hundreds of us showed up this morning to be embraced by Amma, but it ran smoothly. And that's not because of some great big visible paid kind of staff chugging people in and chugging out. Everyone you saw was a volunteer. There were even volunteer opportunities. Someone would walk around with a sign saying they needed a vegetable chopper or they needed someone to wash dishes. And someone would stand up and volunteer their services to do that job. So any criticism about this being a commercial kind of enterprise, I don't find justified. Everything there seemed to be so authentic, so real. There was a great diversity of people who gathered and abilities. There were a group of deaf folks. There was a brigade of folks in wheelchairs. There was folks with mental disabilities. There were people who were clearly affluent, and there were people who were not. And none of those things mattered. All that mattered was that you stood in the line and you waited for your chance to be embraced. The morning began with meditation and prayer and music, and I found my thoughts focusing on God, on the reality of God in the here and now in these moments. Well, at last it was my turn to go stand in line and wait to be embraced by Amma. And I did. And I waited. And then it was, all of a sudden, it was my turn. And I found myself kneeling on the floor in front of her. And it wasn't just a casual, quick embrace of someone looking to make 301 million people hugged. It was a true embrace. One where you felt the love of Amma. And some people would begin to cry. Some people would laugh and giggle. There was a whole variety of emotions being expressed after this embrace. But when it was my turn, Amma embraced me. And a prayer was said in my ear in a language I didn't understand, but the sincerity of it was still true. And then incense placed on my forehead, and as I was standing to leave, rose petals and a Hershey kiss placed in my hand. A parting gift of love. It was an interesting day. My encounter with Amma, the opportunity to look and see how hungry the world is to be embraced and loved by God. Us Christian folks could take a lesson from all this. The world is hungry. So hungry. So wanting to be embraced for who they are. And it was good to see that happening. It was good to be embraced despite everything. So, even though I had to get up early, it was a good day. So my friends, thank you for joining me on this episode of My Faith. I look forward to doing more, and my apologies for such a long span in between them, between moving and getting resettled. Things have been crazy, but I still want to do these kinds of videos for you. I still want to share my exploration of faith with you. So please consider joining me and subscribing and watching these videos. So my friends, thank you.